put your name, or we can rename it for you.
Okay.
Worked together with the former president, the Justice Department alleges, to overturn this.
And George, sounds like
Good evening, everyone. Welcome at the waiting room. Yep. Okay. Can we admitting the people at the waiting room?
Okay, just to say, we are live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just you can send the links to everyone. So I'm just going to pull the links and put it here. Thank you. You can put it on your platforms.
Yes, please do make Dr. Chinelo co-host to help admitting people. Once we get the links, we can share the links, please. Thank you.
But Chinelo is still logging in.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Obidient anthem. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who be the leader for the people, Lord? Who be the man for the hour? The people's choice for our nation. Excellence with integrity, evidence of activity. Make you vote for. Who we vote for?
The mind is sensitive to wake up the integrity, conjoined with intelligence. Now, the mind with intellect, the mind representable, the mind reliable. Now, make you go
and struggle like that is expressing. Accuses aims of creating a bias and narrative. The main architects of the position of that as it is what you need to
Good evening. What's happening? I can hear some music. I don't know what's happening. I can't hear you clearly.
Sorry, we've not started. We're waiting for people. Just give us a few minutes.
Okay, then. Sorry.
Good evening, Pastor Ime. Yes.
Doctor, good evening.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Edwin Okonkwo. Welcome, Pastor Ime. Welcome, Rita Okeme. Welcome, Dr. G. Agomo. Welcome, Nazidu Utuchukwu. Welcome, Caroline Kalu. Welcome, Chibunyeji. Welcome, Chidi Henry. Welcome, Comrade Eugene Ono. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Daniel Ejendri. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Dennis Ede. Welcome. Welcome, Chidi. Welcome, welcome. Henry. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We just taking time to give a little bit of time of grace to start. So thank you, Paul Moke, the engineer. Thank you, Dr. Chi. Thank you, G. Ugolotu. Thank you, Habu Balo. Thank you. And welcome the host, Mrs. Blessing Obialison. Thank you, Humphrey Moseji. Thank you and welcome, Valentine Ifi, Jude, Asomochi. Welcome, Irvin Ubunaya. Welcome, Kenneth Musu, Dutch. Welcome, Luis Kafo. Welcome, Michael Amasuta. Welcome, 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 Moses. Welcome, Moto G7 Power. Please, do you want to put your real name or give us your name? We can rename you on the system. Moto G7 Power. Welcome, Mrs. Joy Ikembu. Welcome.
That's Mr. Levi Okpara, the G Power. You can rename it.
Mr. Levi Okpara. Okay, we will rename you. Dr. Chinelo, please, are you able to help to rename Moto G Power as Dr. Levi Okpara, please? Thank you. Mohammed Lehman, thank you. Nathan O, welcome. Ngozi Emafo, welcome. Welcome, Nicholas Opara. Welcome, Mokedi. Evans, Ubina Uku, welcome. Mwasanya, welcome. Chukume Emeka Sarah, welcome. Chikael Sadiq, Sadiq, welcome. Welcome, Stephen Amos. Welcome, Uche Edward. Welcome, William Thompson. Welcome. Welcome, Auntie Roma and Mugom. Welcome, Galaxy 03. Please, Galaxy 03, what's your real name? Are you able to rename it or tell us so we can rename it for you? Galaxy A03 and also Oppo CPH, please. Can we have the real name there? And we can rename that for you or just rename it yourself. And then Rose, thank you. Thank Rose for being here. Thank you very much. Rose Nkam Katun, CPH, please. Can we have the real name there? And we can then. Okay. So we will want to take off the meeting and then as people continue to join, And before we will want to start, we know that we have quite a little thing to talk about today, and that's the thing in our agenda. But before we do that, we will usually want to pray, because prayer is what has kept us together and kept Nigeria together, and every a body that's on the planet Earth will have one faith or the other. So bearing that in mind, we will request to have a Christian prayer, and then we will have a Muslim prayer. We will want to request, is that Sarah Emeka on the call? Can we have the opening prayer, a Christian prayer from you, please? And then, and we have a Muslim prayer from Muhammad, right? Sheikh Sadiq, please. A Muslim prayer from Sheikh.
I'm going to mute everyone.
Yes, please. And then do start the recording. Yep.
You can unmute yourself, Dr. Michael.
Thank you very much. So can we have the Christian prayer and the Muslim prayer? We can request Pastor James Ime to lead us in Christian prayer, and Sadiq, Sheikh Sadiq for Muslim prayer. Pastor Ime James, POM. He's unmuted. Please unmute Pastor James. PST Ime James, PO.
Okay, Pastor James, can you put your hand up? Can everyone put their hand down, please? Pastor James, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please, can you put your hand up? Okay. Dr. Chinelo, please, can you locate Pastor James and unmute him? Pastor James, I've given you permission to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity and the privilege. Lord God, we thank you tonight. We give you all the praise, honor, and adoration. You are the one that is in charge of the affairs of man. We commit this evening and the speakers and the faculty of the speaker to you tonight. And we ask that we speak in a way that will bring solutions that will move this nation forward. Thank you. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Can we have Sheikh Sadiq, Sheikh El Sadiq, please?
Sheikh, please, can you put your hand up so we can locate you easily?
I've seen him.
Can he unmute himself, please?
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Evening.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah, I submit this process of meeting for the purpose of talking about the situation in our country for your own solution. So we beg you, we implore you, we beseech you to guide us through all this meeting without allowing the Satan, of course, to disturb this meeting, on whichever respect. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. I'm done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sadiq. Okay, today we all know what we are in and what Nigeria is all about and what's the pressure that we have. Now we will be looking at what we have in our agenda today. So we've done the first thing in agenda. The second thing is Obidient Movement Worldwide, the way forward strategy for the task ahead. So we will want to just give a bit of a brief. Yes, we know how we all made all the efforts and then came out en masse and voted, and apparently God giving us the grace to win the election, but we were not declared, our candidate was not declared the winner. And so the case has been in court and a lot of things have been happening, and a president has been enthroned. Still the court wanting to decide whether the president is the right person to be in charge or not. And the precedence has been there. We know that we are in tribunal and we've had some statement of defense put forward by the Labour Party and our principal. We're hopefully looking forward that the result will come. A lot of rumors, a lot of assumptions has been made in the past and been made even up till now. But we are here because we know why we all made up our mind to come out and support a new Nigeria, to support a new rulership, new governance for a Nigeria of our dream. So today, we are here to articulate the Obidient Movement's plight for the way forward. And we must go ahead to apologize for a lot of Obedients who may have been hurting in one way or the other. Many may have been hurting in a way that things happened or the way things went. Many may have felt that things didn't go well with our nation and with the people that conducted the election. And some people may have also felt that we have in-house in-house retreat, in-house debrief, in-house lesson learned, in-house preparation, in-house forgiveness, and otherwise that we need to do for each other and to ourselves. We've been saying we apologize on behalf of everybody. This is the race we have not run before. A tsunami like this had never hit Nigeria before, where a party that was merely covering only less than 5 states strongly became so much visible in the national scene, where they became a force to beat. And then a lot of things probably may have not gone the way we thought or where we expected or we felt exactly should be done. And we apologize for that. We apologize for Obedience Movement. We apologize for Labour Party. We apologize for anyone that we may think may have not done things the way we thought. But the reason for the meeting today is the way forward and the strategies. That's the first thing on the agenda. And the second thing on the agenda is repositioning and awakening for the judiciary ruling, which is coming very soon. And then our presence. So let's get on to number 2 thing on the agenda and hear people's view and hear people's take on that. And we will be getting out some resolution today on the Obidient worldwide way forward, the structure, the strategy, and otherwise. Thank you very much. We want to see the first to raise their hands up. So please, Blessing, are you able to allow Dr. Chibo Onyeji, that's Chibo Onyeji is a PGN coordinator from Osha. Yes, please. Can we have Chibo Onyeji, please do say your name and where you're calling from and your support group. Please, thank you. We take that by the order of the hands we're seeing. You've been asked to unmute. Yes, you've been asked to unmute. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, please.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me the floor. Dr. Chubujeku, before you started the meeting, I raised my hand, and before today, I had made suggestions for amendments to the agenda, and I thought you would have made a couple of comments on that suggestion. You didn't. And you continued as if there wasn't such suggestion on the floor. I checked, and most people read it, and you read it also. I think it's not fair. We are not running a dictatorship. There is nothing. A suggestion is a suggestion. It is normal that in meetings, people suggest, the leader of the meeting, the moderator, says, anybody adding anything to the agenda, is that okay? People okay it, and you go on with the meeting. You should have at least said, well, I don't think we should change this, or does anybody have any opinion to this? How many people want to change it? Majority may say no, and then we go on. But to ignore it completely as if nothing happened is very brutal. It's not fair. It's not fair. We are not running a dictatorship. We are talking of new Nigeria. We should be giving examples in this Obidient movement about the new Nigeria we are going to. It's very simple. It's not by force. It's democracy. Democracy is really...
Dr. Nyeji, sorry, can we really get what you mean? Because I am lost, but I must say apologies for whatever it is, but I can tell you.
It's not a question of apologies. On this platform, on the platform of Rescue Nigeria Now, I sent in a proposal for amendment of the agenda for this meeting.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
But I checked to see how many people read it, and your name was among the people who saw it, who read it. Okay. Really? I thought you could have at least made a comment on that. You would have raised an issue about that.
I said apologies again.
As if there was no suggestion to the amendment of the agenda.
I think you've taken more time, and I say again, and to the clarity of the consciousness I have, I don't know who read what you posted. I didn't read whatever you posted. I didn't see that. And if there was anything like that, you could DM me. But if you said you posted something on Rescue Nigeria, I did not read whatever you are referring to. you can have your system telling you that I read it, I didn't see what, and what does it take to respond to change of agenda? And I don't think it should be an issue in a crucial meeting like this. Say what your view is, and then we can carry it on. If we need to revisit it, we revisit it. But this platform we're on now is not a Rescue Nigeria platform. It is Obidient Worldwide Movement. Thank you. Can we have the next person? Do you want to still move the motion of what you want to move, or do we get to the next person to speak?
Go ahead. That's okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Who's the next person? Yes, Michael Asemata, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. I really appreciate, sir. Doctor, I really appreciate. I still want to maintain, I think I shared something with you the other day.
Yep.
There is a movement, and we are trying to conscientize people about speaking or picking integrity over mediocrity, picking, supporting, how will I put it? I'm looking for the right word, over falsehood and all that. We just have to pick the right person, and it's based on credibility and character and all that. So Obidient movement is a movement that is not even an LP movement. I want to say this today. It's not a Labour Party movement. It's a kind of a conscious movement. If you all agree with me, I might be speaking for myself alone. But I just want to say that there's just one thing I really don't understand why we still want to maintain that status quo, that standard. Like, I'm a Christian. Please, nobody should get me wrong. But I just want to say this at this junction, that we should, if we want to hold a meeting, let's hold this meeting without including religion. Honestly, I'm so sorry. I'm a Christian. Let's just take away religion from it. I have said it in one of our meeting in the one of the Obidient movement group that I belong to, and they listened to me. I think we have Patutomi in that group also, if he's here, and we have some other very big, and they listen and they saw reason. Other people also share their own view. And they were like, yes, there's no need, because this is actually what is killing us in Nigeria, religion. I don't want religion. There's no need for Muslim. If you just want to say, Father, help us as we do this, okay.
All right, I think you made your point. Let's not stress it. You are...
Sir, can I just, I know I have just at least limited time. The reason why I'm saying this, sir.
And let's move on, because...
the reason why I'm saying this is not for anything, but for let that kind of consciousness continue, both in trying to select a good leader and also trying to clear or, make a paradigm change in Nigeria. In terms both in religious angle and all that. That is just what I'm trying to say.
We've had you, and we're very glad that we give you the opportunity to air your view. Please, just like it would be very good when we put things that are not in agenda and put it on AOB. The morality that we're looking for, starting from that point, things that are not on the agenda, that's not on the item of discourse at the moment, if you have it, write it down. After the things on agenda on AOB, you can bring them up. But it's good because we're a democratic being. I could remember that this may have been raised in one of the global meetings. And we had to say, the people that come to this meeting have their views, and we put into votes. And the people that felt that all they need to do is to reverence their faith, which is one of the things uniting us. Everybody has their way of life, and we may not want to be discussing it. This appears to be your view, which you are very, very vehement about, and I respect you for that. Bring it up at the right time and we deal with it. And for the fact that this has come up and it will make a lot of hands to be up, I want us to do that now and trash with it. We are 81 persons here now. We want to take a vote on that so that this doesn't come up in another meeting. The majority feels that they want to be recognizing their faith in the meeting. We have Nigeria as our inheritance. Some of us are in the United States, some of us are in UK, some of us are in Europe, some are in Russia, some are in Australia. Everybody all over the world is here in this meeting. And we want to deal with this and make sure that it doesn't come up again. So please, can we just respect the view of one of us? This has been a worry to him, but let's have a democratic process to that so that it doesn't come up again. So please, by this, I will request.
Thank you.
If you would like us to always recognize the faith by prayer, with starting and ending meeting, please type 1. If you will not want us to do so, type 2 on the chat, please. We start now. Okay, we have one person, Ugo 1, Minister 1, Uche 1, Sabet Ngozi 1, Moses 1, John 1, Ananas 1, Haba 1, Emmanuel had 2. Okay, yes, 1, Edwin 1, Okonko 1, 1, William Thompson 1. Yes, please, we just type number 2, Dr. Henry Ogwin, that's 2. Yes, there should have been a 1. So we have 3 2s. We have pure 1. So 2, Nicholas Opera 1, 3, 1. All right. So all we have now are all on the charts. We can look at it. As we keep typing 1 in the next 2 minutes, because of our time, we will use a percentage of whatever we've got to finalize on this. We're 81 here at the moment, but not all the 81 has responded. There's nothing without God. That's not what, thank you for that comment, but all we need is type 1 if you want us to have prayers, type 2 if you don't want us to have prayers. No comment. Thank you for your comment though, but just vote. Yes, so we have, on the whole, for what we have had at the moment, yes, just type 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 7. Well, from all we can see here, we already have about 40-something 1, and we have 2. We have some good number of 2s, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, by my count, we have about 7. If anybody counted better than me, just tell me what you got. The number of 1s you got and number of 2s you got. Please, if you can do that better than me, just type the summary on the chat and we progress with that. And we believe that whatever group that carries the vote today, we will put this to rest and will not please want this to be revisited because of our timing for next meeting. Thank you. Can I appoint or request Dr. Chibu Onyeji to do the counting of and tell us how many ones we have and how many twos we have and put that on the chat?
No,
Thank
please. I have problems with my eyes. I cannot do that.
Okay, can we get a volunteer to do that, please? G. Ugonwokeji, please help us with that. Just type on the chat what you got. And then we can unmute you to deal with that once you have. Yes, you are to unmute now. Okay, give us the results you got. You already sent the link to unmute. Okay, are you done? Please, you can unmute. Okay, we've got a few people that have summed up the results. We have results from Rita, his own count, the Rita's counting. We have your own counting. So yes, let's just finalize with that. Yes, Hugo, you can. I believe you can unmute now and
yes,
give us
what I have is 39-6 prayers carried. You know, even though I voted against it.
Okay.
You know, and of course, the reason I did is that religion is a very personal thing. It has not stopped Nigeria from corruption and crime.
Okay.
You know, that we do it in everything, you know, has not helped us.
All
God
right.
knows where our mind lies. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you for being that INEC. Sorry. Thank you for being that uncompromising INEC officer at this point, notwithstanding your votes. But now, and then even though you finished with the vote and you still put in what your view is, but yes, there are many other people that counted, but at least from your own counting as a returning officer, we've seen what the majority of the mind of the people are, and democracy simply means that the people you are leading or you are working with need to have a say on anything that had to apply to anybody, apply to them. So if all of us will have to come to meet today, I personally moderating this, I didn't vote, so I could be neutral. And I learned to always be neutral in things like this, especially when I'm in leadership. It's not to take my own right away, but just to ensure that, you know, things work well and everybody is considered. So thank you very much for that motion, and thank you for being part of the exercise to bring that motion to a successful end today. So going forward with the first thing we have on our agenda, we said Obidient Movement Worldwide, the way forward, strategy for the task ahead. So that's where we need people's view, given the background of what is happening and what we are into in Nigeria today. Can we have the views? The first to raise their hands, give us their thoughts. Okay, so based on what's happening today, we have one hand. So let's hear from Dennis, and after Dennis, we see the next person, and then we will get to the next thing on the agenda. Dennis, please, can we?
Yes. Thank you very much for putting this together. My name is Dennis Sedi. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm going to digress a little bit. Based on your question, I'm not sure how to direct it. Moving forward with the movement, I know we're seeing court and we're waiting for their decision. But as we're waiting, what are we doing to support those states that are coming up for election? Remember, this is a battle that's going to last for a very, very long time. If we lose the battle in court, we're still going to continue as Obidient, not as FP for a new Nigeria. So what are we doing in the interim to make sure the states that are coming up for elections, for governorship election, how we're harnessing that? How are we working with the group, with the Obidient group, to make sure these states are taking over in readiness for Obi when it finally comes, or in readiness for Obidient, who that person would be when it finally comes. That's the way I see it in New Nigeria. We can't just wait for the action to happen. We have to be proactive. What are we going to do? How are we going to take over the nation?
Thank you very much. Yes, that question is noted. How are we going to do to ensure that Obedience keep on with the tempo we have, and then ensure that the states that are going to be having election, that they are dealt with? So can we, that's noted. Yes, any other opinion before we start dealing with all the questions? Yes, please. Obomudia Basi, can we hear from you? And then the next person is Rose Nkam. And then the next person is Engineer Paul Mokedi. Yep. So we ask Obomudia Basi to unmute.
Yes, hello, I'm unmuted. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for putting it together. I really appreciate it, because sometimes it was a heartbreak to lose that election. Not lose that election, that our principal was not declared the winner of the election. Now we are just all staying in limbo, trying to wait for the tribunal and the outcome. But moving forward, just in line with what the previous speaker have said, a lot of elections are coming up, especially some of us are very obedient. We tend to now, based on what's going on, to participate in the future elections. So how obedient, how are we? Most obedient are aligned with Labour Party. So how are we going to ensure that people with credibility, people with competence, people that have a good track record, that they are the one that will select to represent us, so that we can have a new Nigeria? I believe that the biggest task ahead of us, and then we have to be meticulous as we select our future leaders. That just, I believe it's a big task. You need to be, even if you need some committees to do some leaderships, that would not be a bad idea, because a lot of people are now pretending to be obedient, coming to the Labour Party. We need to check their track record and their history, before we can start supporting these candidates.
Thank you very much for your view, Obumedi Abasi Osage. Quite noted. We will take 2 more hands and then we will respond and have people's view on the things we've had, and then we take the next 4. So can we hear from Rose Nkom, please?
Good evening, sir. Good evening to all the citizens in the house.
Good evening.
I'm Rose Nkom from Kaduna. My suggestion is that most of the people that participated during the election, most of them, after the election, some of them went out because of what really happened. The mandate was not released. And most of the people we gave positions are handicapped. I said handicapped because most of them were retirees and some are students. Now, we want to get them moving, but most of them, because of lack of finances, they don't want to come up. And because of what really happened, the mandate is not being given, though we are praying about for the mandate to be released. We are not losing hope. We still have hope that the mandate will be released to us. So I don't know how these people will be encouraged, because most of them have the mandate at heart. They have the movement at heart, but it's just lack of encouragement, the finances. Like myself, I'm a retiree, but God helping us, whatever we have, we are trying our best to see that the movement is being gingered, and we are trying our best also to see that those at the grassroots are being encouraged, but most of them needs assistance. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That question is noted. Rose, please, what's your support group name or organization name?
Peter Obi Movement, sir.
Peter Obi Movement, POM.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Noted. Yes. So the next person we hear from Engineer Paul Nwokedi. Then we will deal with that batch of the question. Then we will start again from Jude Asomochi. Yes, Engineer Jude, please.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Engineer Paul, go ahead. Paul, okay. Yes, did we lost Engineer Nwokedi? Did we lose Engineer Nwokedi? Sorry. Okay, let's hear from Judah Somaji then. I'm muted, sorry, you're muted? Yes, please, can we unmute Engineer Nwokedi to speak?
Hello, my name is Jude Asomachi. I'm a retired banker and I live in the United States. I also own a technology company with some friends. And I had some meeting with Dr. Michael. I'm responding to the last person. I am from ACS community, which was formed in the month of June, just June. But We have been training since May of last year. Many people who were disgruntled and disheartened by the behaviors of Labour Party and the Big Ten during the election caused our group to decide to form this group. So it's very fresh, but we are in every polling unit in the country. We also have something that is very important. We have the INEC data of every registered voter in every polling unit in Nigeria. So there are 3 elections going on, Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa. We are still in the process of assessing the people there. We are Obidient, but we are party agnostic. We don't care about the party. If you are Obidient, which means you are ready, willing, and able to sacrifice your time, talent, and treasure to achieve the goals of the Obidient movement, which is a country that is run by Peter Obi and people like him, where the Nigeria works for everybody. We really don't care which party you are in. So far, we have not decided who to support in Kogi, or Imo, or Bayelsa. Kogi might be finalized today. Imo, we don't know. Bayelsa, we don't know. So we have the assessment question that we give people to answer so that we know whether these people are really obedient or whether we can even bring them in. And then we try those ones that are not obedient to try to see if we can convert them to being obedient. It has not been easy. I'm finished.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, we want to address some of the questions we've got. It's Engineer Waked is still able to put up his view before we go ahead with this. Okay, fine. Now, probably in the next phase of observations and comments and questions, we'll hear Engineer Waked. Now, from all we've heard from all the speakers, starting from ensuring that we choose the right persons to represent obedience, and then also supporting obedience in different states and local governments. And then also the last submission of we partnering or working with the last speaker or support groups enlisting with his proposal for the support that we need, financial support. We may want to look at it this way. The Obidient movement has been there and they've done quite a lot using our time, our effort, and our money to ensure that we enthrone a good governance in Nigeria. And that touches the first question that we received here, an observation. What do we do? How do we take position to ensure that the mandate Nigerians had is recovered through the rule of law or through whichever means that we think it's acceptable to the citizens of Nigeria. So that will push us into the thing we have in one of the agendas, item number 3 agenda. We talked about occupying the media space and continuously speaking in the national daily, speaking in the television, speaking in the social media, speaking everywhere, ensuring that people know that the Nigerians who gave their mandate to Peter Obi are still watching and are still expecting their mandate to be realized, be recovered, be taken back. So that is the strategy. And we are looking at tonight, by the time we finish, we will want to get the list of all the support groups and all the organizations that are here tonight, and their conveners. Please, as you have your time, we will make our time for that. But as you have time, you can just keep putting on the DM the name of your organization or support group and the name of the convener and the contact. Now, our expectation is that all the support groups, alongside with the Obidient movement worldwide, needs to be releasing within the shortest time we have for these results to, this judgment to be delivered. Put 1 or 2 publications in the national daily. Organize 1 or 2 conferences that people will hear about. And so if we do this in the national daily and we have communication in the television and then dominate our media space, social media spaces, saying that Nigeria needs to be respected and the rights of the children, the youth, the elders, and the children unborn need not to be sold or need not to be abused in a way, not using any word that will sound violent or any way, but very cordial, normal words that could appeal to hearts of people. And we have those things going out either every 2 days or every week, but there's that domination on the media space. So if PPGen that is here is doing the same, and POM is doing the same, and PUSN is doing the same, and Take Back Niger is doing the same, and Obidient, P2B Vanguard is doing the same, most of the support groups that are represented here, sorry if I haven't mentioned your support group, but that's why it would be very good if we have a kind of attendance of all the support groups that are here now. Pastor James Ime, yes, POM, yeah, Peter before, yeah. So if we all doing something in the media space, even if it's one publication will not cost so much, and all the support groups and organizations are putting one every week in all the national dailies, it will make a very big impact. And then the media team getting into the Twitter handles and saying things and even pushing some of the ones that people had published, it will go a long way. So dominating the media space might not take us much effort than just deciding to doing it. And once we have content writers, the people who write content, they will just keep pushing out things and others will be publishing. That's one of the steps we need to take. And that's one of the things we might want to have a resolution to tonight. We might vote on that and see that there are hundreds and thousands of publications going out, tweeting and be retweeted and be retweeted and be retweeted. So we are actually moved to doing that. So thank you for that question, if that answers it, but we will get into that strategy of doing that, and then also ensuring that each organization or support group that has done one just sends it across, and we kind of archive that and give kudos to them and get the media people to keep tweeting that. In terms of supporting people who are in Nigeria, some people who are discouraged, yes, like we said at the beginning, we know that this is a race that we are all, we all embarked on this race. This is the first one. That's the first time that is a political party that was not so much popular became so popular and became a political party to beat, because the Obidient had made a resolution to vote Peter Obi. So we so much appreciate that. And then people feeling the obedience needs to stand for what they are to be able to do what they have to do. So those are all taken into consideration. Then the next question was asking about ensuring that the obedience supports a credible candidate for the states. And we know that there are some state elections that are coming up so soon. We know that Edo state election is coming. We know that Bayelsa state election is coming. We know that Imo state election is coming. Yes, please remind me other elections that are coming. And we know that all these elections are coming. And we will do our best to ensure that credible candidates emerge. Now, how do we know credible candidates and what is required of these candidates? Now, we talked about candidates that have credibility and has capacity. Now, there are a few things we need to look out for. A candidate that the Obidient movement will want to back on, will want to support on, need to have presence, one, in the state that he or she wants to run for. Number two, should have goodwill of the people, goodwill of obedience. Then number three, will have a bit of economic strength. Like economic strength could be support from friends, could be support from colleagues, could be support from professionals. But we know that obedience will want to see that this person is credible and they want to support this person. But this person will also be in a position to ensure that all the obedients who are going to support in the primaries are at the venue at the date, and then have the party card membership, whichever. Now we are working with Labour Party until we decide otherwise, but anybody that is going to run for a political post in any states, at least need to get the obedience that want to support him to be card-carrying members of the party that you are running with. And when that is done, then you're quite sure that obedience will come without being compromised, vote for you. But if obedience who are card-carrying members are not mobilized by you or by your group or by your team, then it will be that obedience wants you, but there are no people to give you the primary ticket. That is for the people that are aspirants. Then for others that are already candidates, that's part of the discussions we'll have tonight, and we will also have a resolution by vote. Our resolution is that we will want to reach tonight is, if any candidate is in a state and we, the obedience, had seen that this person has all it takes to be a good governor and has gotten the mandate of the party, the Labour Party at the time, we are working with Labour Party, like I said, until there's a decision otherwise. Then we have a resolution that every obedient worldwide is supporting these candidates. That's one of the things that cost the obedience last election. It cost us almost 8 to 12 governors because communication were not unified. People made comments, and then that comments went ahead to destabilize a lot of people. And then when the house is divided, it will not stand. So there is strength in majority. If we are many and we agree on something, and you have about 8 Labour Party or Obidient governors, our problem will be a little bit half solved in Nigeria, because the capacity that the governors carry in Nigeria is enormous. And if we have Obedience that are governors, it will help us. And there is nobody, it's as it is now, there's no Obedience that is governor in APC that will come tomorrow to turn to be a Labour Party or to tell you he's obedient. If he says he's obedient, the leadership of APC will disown him and eventually will even impeach him. So we can rob Peter to pay Paul. When we say, oh, we know what we stand for, Obedience stand for this, and then we take our strength and go and give to somebody that is in APC or in PDP and say that, oh no, because we think he has capacity. His capacity will never come back to Obedience, and he will never come back to Labour Party if the Labour Party is a party that the principal is working with. So as we are now, we will want to look into this, and like we said, that's the next thing we will have to vote about. So we finalize this bit and we get to the next bit. If we've touched all the questions or if there's any opinion on that, but we want to vote on that now, and then we will take the first phase of conversation, which will start with Comrade Eugene. As the next person that have his hand raised. But that will be after we heard from Engineer Nwokedi, who has been waiting. Yeah, okay. Please, we have a few people waiting in the waiting room. This admits all. Okay. So having said all that, let's just get on now on the resolution. The first thing is the obedience. If we are resolving today that whilst we are now still working with Labour Party, and that's the party that our principal is working with, and we have candidates coming from the Labour Party, and the Obedience worldwide want to agree. If we are thank you very much, Dennis, for your contact and your support group. Then if we are supporting that, Obedience will throw weight on any candidate that has emerged from the Labour Party, irrespective of differences, put our weight behind the person and get the Obedience to be the governor of whichever state he or she is contesting. Please, can we type 1? If we are of the view that we cannot do that, we have to go our different ways and support whoever we want to support. Type 2. We want to start having the result. Thank you, Ugo. Okay, type 1. Thank you, William. Type 1. Thank you, Maria. Type 1. Thank you. Please, type 1. Put your name. Thank you, Techno. Type 1. Thank you, Pastor Ime. Type 1. Thank you, Mr. Balalevi. Thank you. Thank you, Onwasanya. Thank you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that pouring. Thank you from Habu Bala. Thank you. Thank you. We have somebody type 2. We have another person type 2. Chipuke Hot type 2. Thank you from Igaga. Thank you. Thank you, Moses, to everyone. Thank you. We have a lot of ones, and yes, let's keep pouring that, and we will request G again to continue to be the umpire for tonight's meeting in all the resolutions we are going to be having. Yes, and we will need assistance. Anybody that wants to support him to do the counting, please do help. Yes, so we are having some good number of response on that, and whatever decision we reach tonight will be published in our communique. We're going to publish our resolution tonight in the national dailies, and it has to carry the weight it has to carry. Thank you very much. Can we keep having the opinions pouring? Thank you. If you've been with the type 1, thank you very much. Thank you. Just type 1 or type 2, whichever that appeals to you, and we have that resolution. Yes, thank you. So because of timing, we will want to have that result. Can we have the out? Yes, thank you, Paul. Evans, thank you, Evans. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Just type, and that's part of the resolution we're having. Thank you from Akoch Christian Uche. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, yes, just type 1 or 2 if you're of the view that whoever that emerges as a gubernatorial candidate, we Obedience are going to pull our weights. All the support groups, Obedience worldwide, everyone had to pull their weight behind the person. Thank you. Or you think, no, we don't have to do that. We just need to do things, go our separate ways, support whoever we want to support, and then dividing the votes and eventually profits nobody. Whatever it is that you feel like is your opinion, but this is the democratic platform, and we want to reach a resolution on that tonight. Thank you. Can we please request the returning officer for tonight to please get up with the results? Yes, thank you. We have 31 to 3. Okay, thank you. So please, we're taking note of all those. Please do take note that it looks like the vote is still coming in. So yes, please take note of them. Thank you very much. Thank you. We request Sarah Emeka, please, to collate all the resolution we are reaching tonight in a very good form. Sarah Emeka, please get all the resolutions in a very good document, and they are all going to be published in the national dailies, all the resolutions of tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we will want to move to the next thing, to the next hands that are there, and then we will deal with those, and then we move to the next thing on the agenda. Yes, please. And then Pastor James Ime of POM, please also assist us to collate all the resolution that we have reached tonight for publication. If Haruna Gora is on the call, which is one of your members, please, we need to get some of this documented properly for our publication, which will go forth at least as quick as possible by tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, so we move on to hear from the rest people that have their hands on, but as we start listening to them, please do feel free to type on the chat your support group or your organization, the name of the convener, and the contact, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now we want to hear the second phase of the people who have their hands up. So we have Engineer Paul Mwekedi, and then we have Comrade Eugene. Can we please hear from Engineer Paul Mwekedi? Is your hand still up? But we're seeing Comrade Eugene. So we ask Comrade Eugene to unmute. Comrade Eugene, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you clearly.
My name, okay, so my name is I'm Comrade Eugene Onu, and my support group is Nigeria Unites for P2B. Actually, I am the Ebonyi State coordinator. As a matter of fact, I'm really very happy about this night's discussion. However, just you people want us. I had my reason for voting against all Labour Party candidates. The experience we had in Ebonyi State was so terrible. Because with this, all the states, we are obedient. As a matter of fact, at the end of the day, we could not even have a governorship candidate in the state to run for last election. It was that very bad. In Ebonyi State, there's something we have done, all the obedient groups, most obedient group have done. We came together immediately after the election and we saw what the Labour Party did to us, because they could not even use the Labour Party, they could not even use the obedient groups, to monitor these elections as party agents and so on. And that's one of the reasons why we had so much problem in states. However, after the election, we didn't. From all the support groups, we were able to form what we registered it with the national, but it was quite very difficult for us. So we registered here in the States, and we had our reasons for doing that. We said we were not going to allow all the obedient groups to scatter. We have to come together. In fact, last Sunday, we had our meeting. We had our board of trustees, and we had what we call directors, which includes most of the coordinators of most obedient groups in the state. And our reason for coming together is to make sure that in case our principal, maybe there's a rerun, we will not have any problem organizing our people together to make sure that we win. But be it as it may, we are still optimistic and hoping that our principal will win at the court. But if the court actually disappoints the majority of the people who have voted for our principal P2B, it will be a calamity, because most people are weeping. Most people are not happy about what is going on. Some people are trying to play to the gallery, trying to be politically correct and all that, keeping moon. But we know, and everybody knows, even Asuwaju himself knows that P2B won him in that election. So what we have been waiting for now is to know what the court will say, so that we keep running, what we have already galvanized ourselves to do. So we have gathered ourselves together as Obedient Family Organization in Ebonyi State, all the obedient groups, and we are formidable, and we are waiting, to see what will happen, so that even at our state, we make sure that even if there's a rerun, that our principal will not have any problem. The second one is, if the court, decides that he's not going to run, we are also trying to find other avenues, what we have to do to ensure that democracy thrives in this country, because what they are doing is anti-democratic. They're not just being democratic. Okay, our so-called president, sorry to say, is saying that there's a queue in queue here they said that anyone that will come to equity must come with clean hands. What clean hands are they not coming to intervene in another country whereas they have not been able to ensure that democracy, which is the rule of the people, thrives in Nigeria. So what we have tried to do now is to come together and wait and hear what the court we say. So this is our position for now in Ebonyi State. And if it is in the right direction, you can as well tell us. But if not, maybe you can advise us. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I am done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Comrade Eugene, for that proactive step and the strategy you've put in place. We will get to hear all other people that raise up their hands, and we will deal with all those at the same time as the next phase of action. Yes, we have about 11 participants raising their hands. So we still go in that order. We have Angela Ohakosin, please. Can we hear from you? And we request us to try our best to cut our speech as short as possible so that others will have opportunity to speak as well. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Okay, I stand on existing protocols. I really want to appreciate this gathering. My take is this with regards to,
Thank you, Angela. Please able to tell us your support group or organization and where you're calling from, please. Thank you.
Okay, I contested in the last election.
Fantastic.
House of Representatives in Labour Party.
Okay.
But our logo was not on the ballot for my constituency, so that was why I just was not in the fold of those that made it. Okay. So, but what I have to say here is this: we're looking at the Obidient family different from Labour Party. It's quite true, but the Obidient family emerged because Peter Obi was stepping into Labour Party, and that he was a very good candidate, and everybody had to put hands together to ensure that we canvassed for him. And today he's also in Labour Party. If we're looking at getting a new Nigeria emerge, we're also going to be very, very hardworking when it comes to selecting the right candidates that will fit into the various offices that will be contested for. So with regards to this, I like to say that forthcoming elections, our hands has to be on deck to even ensure that we build Labour Party, because Peter Obi needs people that will be with him from various electoral seats, you understand, the House of Reps and the governors and all that, even to the grassroots, to the local governments. He needs people that will actually, back him up. So if we actually want him to succeed, when it comes to political parties, those in PDP, APC, they will not be there with him. They will not. They have their own take. They have their own. If you go to other parties, opposition parties of Labour Party, you observe that they are thinking of themselves and themselves alone. So I know that we are all Obidient family coming from different political parties, but if we want Peter Obi to really succeed, we need to help build Labour Party. Labour Party is just tender and young. I know how much resources we have put into this whole thing to ensure that it has come this far. So we shouldn't just, have this opinion that whoever comes from different other parties, whereas the party is a tender party and it needs our effort to build it up so that we can get the right people on board. That will also be there for Peter Obi. Now we are celebrating, candidates that emerged in the last election for National Assembly. We were so happy that we're able to have that number of people that will stand with Peter Obi, whether you like it or not. Those are his people. So that is one thing I keep saying, and I want to also repeat it here, so that we'll look at it very well, critically. This is the time for us to look into this whole thing and assist him in the next 4 years, 8 years, as the case may be. he will have people that will stand with him. If he's calling for his people, it's the Labour Party candidates that he will call. Those are emerged. You understand? That is what I want to say here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that presentation, Angela Ohakasim. It's timely, and it's your view which comes out correctly. And then we have actually had a resolution. We have had a vote cast, and the result has already been published. Published here on the platform, and so we will put that resolution to the national daily by tomorrow or next. So it has to be a news that has to go around. So yes, thank you, and we just keep doing all we can to ensure that we help to build a new Nigeria that will remain a sustainable new Nigeria. So, G. Ugo Nwokeji, do you have the results as the INEC chairman for tonight to tell us what was the resolution that we reached on this? Ask to unmute. 12 hands are up.
The result that I put up, I believe, was 32 or 32 or 33, 3. 32 or 33 to 3. And that is yes for deciding to support one person en masse.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we have
yes, 32, yes, 32 to 3. That's what it is.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we move on that. So we have the next person, Rita. Rita Okeme, please. Can we hear from you, your view, and then we will hear from Sheikh El Sadiq, and we will hear from Pastor James Ime, and we will summarize on that. We have 12 hands, so we need to deal with all those as quick as possible. Yeah, go ahead. Rita, you're asked to unmute, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm calling from Kogi State.
Thank you.
We have a candidate already under Labour Party that is coming out.
What's your support group, please?
My support group, I have a number of them. During the P2B's time, I was under POSGN, that's P2B Solidarity Group, Nigeria. I was the woman leader under that. But my Oga now that we are running for governorship, he said he doesn't want to have anything to do with the governorship, this thing. I can take over the platform so that he doesn't want to have anything to do with the governorship, but he just did what he wants to do for P2B.
Okay.
And that's where I'm coming. Like, I like what you are doing this evening. And is what I've been preaching in Kogi State, even everywhere. Whenever I see a candidate coming out under any states, I try to promote, the person, especially if the person is under Labour Party, because this same thing you are talking about here, I think many people don't get it. That P2B will not even succeed if we don't have these governors. You can't just have, we have only one governor. I mean, the other governors is going to choke that guy at the time. So we need more people under Labour Party. That's what I've been saying that we need. So I'm solidly behind the governor aspirants under Kogi State. I'm not from Kogi State, I'm from Delta State, but I reside here. So I'm solidly behind him. he has reached out to me to support him, and we have gathered another group. His name is Barrister Okeme Adejo. We have opened another group for him, and we have the campaign for him. We are already on this thing, trying to promote him seriously, so that they've done the primaries and he won. So though they have 2 fractions in Kogi State, I think they've resolved it. I don't know. So that's where we are now. So we are trying to promote a lot of people that are coming from the Edo State one. I have a candidate already supporting under Labour Party, though they've not done their primaries under Edo State. There are a number of them coming out under Labour Party. So we are trying to encourage people. But now, a lot of obedience. The problem we're having, a lot of obedience. All these other parties are started buying them to support them. So somehow there are a lot of obedience that have listed their support group for like PDP and even APC, that they want to support APC and PDP. Some of them said they were coming from other party. Now they wanted P2B, but now they want to go back to their party or something like that. So I don't know how we're going to convince them, because I think they are not getting it. If P2B comes in now and we don't have enough, that's the structure they're actually talking about that we don't have. When they say we don't have structure, the reason this mandate was taken from us is because of that structure we did not have. Yes, we actually voted and we won. But now, because those structures were not on ground, these people were able to manipulate the whole thing. And that's why we're where we are today. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, that comment is noted. We will take more contributions and views from people, and we will deal with them straight on. So can we please hear from, thank you, Rita. Can we hear from Sheikh El Sadiq, please?
Yeah. Peace be unto all of us that have been here. I am Sheikh Rufai Al-Siddiq, the leader of the Obidient Islamic clerics in the north. And those that know my antecedents to see that P2B emerged the president of this country. Based on what I know he is and how I've come all the way politically in this country, that we need a Southeastern to take over this time. It's not for just the House of Fulani and Yorubas to take. You should not allow the Southeast to secede. Then you should allow
Okay, it's like we yes, Sheikh.
And also they have more credible candidates in P2B to come in, and that's what I've been working on. So the problem I've been seeing is that you continue to talk the political jargons, every way of getting P2B to be on the seat.
Sorry, have we lost Sheikh? Okay, it's like we lost Sheikh. Before he comes back, can we please hear from Pastor Ime James, please? Pastor Ime James of POM.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Mike. I just want to thank you for, showing now, Mike, go. Peter movement, as the name connotes, is not Labour Party. It is in alliance with Labour Party because our principal is contesting under that platform. And all my members in the 36 states of the Federation understand this. Now, we have also agreed that for the sake of giving some of political numbers to Peter Obi, irrespective of the maltreatment that the Labour Party gave to the Obidient movement, irrespective of the challenge we had with them, we will vote for a Labour Party candidate. And I just need for to do a lot more work with us, because a lot of people, as some have here shown, are disillusioned, angry. My Kaduna State Secretary earlier talking about many of them in Kaduna State, and we are doing everything to bring them back to, and most of them are getting back. We are of the Obedience, and I need for this name to be properly registered. Network of Obedience, globally, worldwide, so that we will know that this is where, this is our assembly ground. It's time for us to begin to speak with groups, go from group to group, and begin to educate, encourage, and let them know why. If you please supporting Peter Obi, it is important for you to vote for the party, because for now, he is running the party platform. I don't know tomorrow. He may decide to go another party tomorrow. Anywhere Peter tomorrow, Peter of the movement, POM, will go there. Every member, thousands of members know this. So for now, this is Labour Party. I want to appeal to all of you on this platform. For the sake of showing that our policy does not, because we wanted to give structure. And I want to appeal to you. If you say to me, then you must do everything to vote for party candidate. It's not what is going to be, but because Peter Obi's name, we must carry this banner, we must present it this way. This is what I just want to appeal to you. Please, let's appeal to our members in our support groups. Let's appeal to them that the reason we must vote for a candidate is because it has something to do with the acceptability of Peter Obi, with the Peter Obi. That is what we are doing. And so if you truly, truly love Peter Obi, and it is not because you came into the Obidient movement because you felt that there was going to be sharing of money. If you truly love him and you want a change in Nigeria, then you will go ahead and vote for a Labour Party candidate in your state. Because many of my members are angry with the candidate, but I have spoken to them and they are ready to work with him. This is the way we should all go. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you, Pastor James Ime, for that submission. So we've had few submissions on this trajectory. We want to conclude it. Sheikh El Sadiq was speaking and he was logged off because of network. He's back now. So we give you platform again to please finish what you were saying in a very quick note. And then we'll hear from G. Ugunwokeji. and we will conclude that batch. Then we'll come back again and hear from Ebele Obi, Michael Asemota, and Rose Nkom. Thank you. So please unmute yourself, Sheikh.
Okay. Thank you once more to have been given the chance to speak. You see, where I'm coming from is that we lack the prayers that is needed to achieve what you want in this movement. You see, everything that you see that's physically is being actually activated by the spirit unseen. So this is what you should understand. I am from the north. I know what religions are doing to change the narrative, whatever the way things are going on in the court. My major focus is in this tribunal petition, presidential petition, something that is going on in Abuja. So there is the paramount issue. Right now, where we are now, we know that Peter B1, everybody knows that. And even Tinubu himself knows that he's Mr. Grab it and run with it. He's an evil person there. And the article is hungry for power. But Obi won. And those of us that are Muslims that are behind Obi, we are being highly labeled as if we are not human beings in the north. So that is why I'm leading, those who know my presidents, you know where I'm coming from. So I'm leading a very strong team Islamically that is working for Obi to emerge. So on that basis, we refuse to patronize the prayers that we begin. Myself and my group, every Friday since we started this Pepsi, we have been praying and sacrificing. You understand? Because we have to address the spirit, not the unseen forces. You see, the God that is there, you have to petition. Prayers are different. You have to petition God to mobilize your power to achieve certain things. But there are technical prayers to make sure that you look for, be activated to get what is your own. If you are sitting down at you won and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then it will be left for you. Somebody else will take over it if it's active. So we have to be active in the spiritual realm. Because if we're talking to you now, if somebody is addressing your subconscious, because the subconscious motivates the consciousness to act. So we are working behind the scene to make sure that what is rightly ours, and because that's what God wants, He'll be able to help us easier than those who are even trying to kind of rob us of our victory. So every Friday since this court case, I have been sacrificed, we've been praying. So this is the right time now. The judgment is what we're waiting for now. So I'm imploring that those of us, I'm happy that, you know, even in this meeting, the head of religious setup were invited exclusively to come to this meeting. And I'm happy to be here, both Christians and Muslims. There's no way you can divorce religion from the politics in this country today. That is why we're talking, shouting against Muslim ticket. So anybody that's talking that religion is important is part of us. And that is why we are fighting tooth and nail. We, the leadership that I'm having, that we must make sure that we win, because we don't know where we're going to be if it is not there. So we need the support. We need financial support. For example, now, we have the three of them. The last almighty prayer we need to do now is to make sure the judgment favors us. Not, we are talking of a run. We are seeing what you are talking about now, about how people have been disfranchised, how people they don't have the right spirit now, they're discouraged and all the rest. So if you are going for a run, it's going to be so tough for us, because this evil, they know how to manipulate us. And some of us have lost the courage. So we need to make sure that with this thing, that the last prayer we are doing, that we should be pronounced the winner, because everybody knows that even the judges, they are not from the moon. They are in Nigeria. They knew what happened, that they refused to upload this thing through the beavers to the IRL. So I'm asking this group of supporters today that are here, and they should assist my group. We want a white ram. That one is for P2B to present. That's the purity. Then we have the black one for the evil of Tinubu. Then we have the maroon one to douse the spiritual, the power hungriness of Atiku, so that we sit down mammothly and do our prayers to make sure that we win at the tribunal. This is what I'm saying. Other things we take over. If somebody can give us life cow, okay. We don't. That is what we need to complete our prayer that you have been doing in the north. That's my submission, please.
Thank you very much, Sadiq for that submission. According to people, everybody keep doing according to their faith or their belief. Thank you. So we have the next person to speak, and then we will eventually finalize everything we had on this batch, and then we go back again and starting from Ebele Obi down again. So can we hear from G. Ugomwokeji? Once we finalize on this, we will have another resolution. We put up things on vote, and then we move on. But please do put down your name and the name of your support group and the convener and the contact on the chat, please. Rita from Kogi, that's having gubernatorial election, and all other people that spoke now that hadn't put down their name on the name of their support group or organization, please do so, and the contact. Yeah, can we hear from Ugomwokeji, please?
Thank you very much. I am very, very glad that we've come to where we are now. That is in arriving at the consensus that we should support all the candidates, and basically to decide on the candidates we will support. And I believe that candidate should be the candidate of the Labour Party, as long as there is no serious reason to doubt that person's loyalty to the cause. I'm not a member of the Labour Party, but I have to say, the Labour Party has provided a platform for Peter Obi to try to actualize his, his quest for the presidency, and did a good job, basically winning an election for him. Of course, and that's why beavers, IRF were taken down. So, and the chairman of the Labour Party has shown his mettle. That guy could have taken money from Tinubu and won't see poverty again and betray Peter Obi, but he didn't do that. So I don't really like when people talk about Labour Party, oh, we're just working with them, we can move on. We're only going to move on if there is a good reason for that. But if they continue to provide a solid platform, then we should work with that. And actually, I think there are many people in this movement that don't understand the vitality of solidarity, the concept solidarity. Solidarity is very, very important. And we shouldn't be saying it to their hearing that, we're just working with them, we can move on. We have to build this solidarity with them. And that's why I reacted badly. I think last night here in California, could be this morning in Nigeria. When I read something, somebody said that the demonstrations that are happening now, demonstrations, we shouldn't be, that the Obidient movement shouldn't be part of it. Our turn is coming. What? That thing could have been drafted from DSS headquarters to take the wind out of the sail of what Nigerians are trying to do. And these labor leaders that are doing this, again, they could have collected money from Tinubu's government. And this whole protest will stop. We're all together in this. The momentum should be kept on. People should stop sending that in. I believe it is from DSS headquarters, doing what they call psychological oppressions. So the importance of solidarity, please keep it in mind. And this reminds me of what happened in Rivers State on the last election. I think for whatever reason, our principal and the rest of the Labour Party, much of the Labour didn't work well, didn't support the candidate there, the governorship candidate. This woman has proven her mettle. She's paid her price. She's consistent. She's committed to the cause, but for some reason, she didn't receive any, much support from the Labour Party. That should not have happened for whatever reason. I don't know what happened. I tried to reach our principal through some channels, and but nothing of note came out of that. But now, the good thing is that she's in the courts, and I've been talking about Comrade Beatrice Itubo, and Rivers Party is such a fundamental state. After Lagos, you know, of course, Kanu has votes and all that, but when it comes to muscle, after Lagos, it is Rivers. Now, Comrade Itubo is in the courts trying to realize her mandate. They moved the case from Port Harcourt to Abuja. Now, she has to put the lawyers up in the hotels and all that. That thing is costing a lot of money. And I'm using this platform as a clarion call to the Obidient movement to mobilize support for this person who should be the governor of Rivers State. If we all chip in, no matter how little, it will go a long way. She is in dire need. And I have to tell you that people do not know, before the election, months before the election, we confiscated her properties in Port Harcourt, putting her in great financial hardship. And these are some of the things that she was putting up with. So please, I am making this clarion call for the Obidient movement worldwide to support Comrade Itubo in her fight in the courts to win her mandate. She doesn't have money. It's like everybody has forgotten her. And again, the case was moved from Port Harcourt to Abuja. And it's costing a lot of money. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Noted. So yes, that's we'll use that to conclude the discussions on this phase. And it kind of appears that most of the things that we've said within this phase are all getting to one direction. And so thank you for everyone that's spoken. Majority and the summary of all that we've had on this phase now, and it's the solidarity to support whichever candidate that emerges from Labour Party that is credible. And that is the solidarity we need to gain more ground. One governor of Obidient movement group is another inch of victory won in Nigeria. So, like we said earlier, if we lost 8 states, we could have won 8 states, but now we're all coming to the basis and we're all talking the same thing. So we have had a resolution on that and taken that, so we're just cementing. So I may request, please, if everything, anybody, the ones that have their hands up now, if what you want to say has to do with a resolution that has already passed, please do help us with time and not to mind revisiting that again. And then, yes, there is need to look into support for the Rivers State gubernatorial candidate. I know that many support groups has been doing their best, including PPGN and many others, in one way or the other to support. But we will all keep pushing, especially when we know that the case is genuine. Any Obidient governor gain is a victory gain in Nigeria. And then at the same time also, during the protests that the labor union started, and then we're hearing they called it off after one day, and then negotiating, going for negotiation. Well, that's Nigeria playing out. But we all are saying that we are going to dominate the media space, the digital spaces, until the physical, because the physical protests will eventually start. People are suffocating. So you can't stop it. When people are now trekking in Lagos on foot and trekking in Abuja and Enugu on foot, eventually it will be a protest that will start by itself. And with the way government is going, nothing is being done or said about fuel pump price. And apparently people are even predicting that they're going to add more, increase it the more. So the protest will orchestrate itself and no one could stop it. Okay, so having known that and have that in mind, before it starts, we've passed a resolution before. We had to start dominating the media space and demanding our rights and our mandate back. So once we take these hands on now, the next thing will be the thing on the agenda that I think that's the mounting pressure on the government to ask the INEC chairman to resign and revamping of INEC. Now, in a country where things are working well, the INEC people are talking and defending things that ought not to be defended. People are talking and saying things that are really, really unnecessary, and they are still holding those positions. But I believe that the masses demanding that these people need to really resign and give chance to democracy will be the next thing. So let's hear from the next people on the line. We'll hear from Madam Ebelubi, and then Rose Nkom and Mike Nnam. And then the next person we hear from these four, and then, yes. So can we hear from, okay, let's say Kem Onora and then Emmanuel Nnupu. Okay, so we request Madam Ebelubi, please, to unmute.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Chukwujeku and your team. Like other speakers have said, I'm really glad to hear all the discussions. Mine is something I've always been wondering, and I think because we didn't think through it before the previous elections, so the question of who to support or who not to support is coming up. However, I don't want us to beat ourselves too much because the movement was such a rapid thing. Everybody wanted a change. We were just going in for something that we were really yearning for. So we should at least even pat ourselves on the back that we've gone so far. I believe that we should all be patient because Rome wasn't built in a day. So what we're looking forward to would be built in good time, well, in some time. UK, like some of them will tell you, took over 200 years to be what it is. So we should be a bit patient with ourselves. However, let's learn to move in the right direction. So I'm happy that the resolution has been passed to support people in Labour Party, although we're going to look confused if we're supporting people here and there. The question I have now is, it's also very important that we have credible people. So how are we going to ensure that? How are we going to, going forward, how are we going to be able to, as Obedience, pull our weight in the party, even though some of us may not be members of the party or very active members of the party, but be able to have a say, to say, oh, look, people, you're bringing this candidate. We found out that this is about her. She cannot run for us. or oh, hey, this man has this record that no, we do not support. And such, and our voice will actually make a difference. Because if we don't begin to do that now, they will not have reasons to tell people who are looking at good candidates in other parties not to look there. Our yearning is for us to have good leaders all over the country. But one assurance, not that I can vouch for anybody, but I think one assurance I can sort of give is that I believe that the man Peter that we know and his leadership style that we've already known, if by God's grace he comes in, or when he comes in as the president, the leader always matters. It will trickle down. Whatever leadership behaviors he comes with will trickle down. And that's why I'm in line with all the people who have said, let us all pull our way to, behind Labour Party. Even the bad eggs there, we know to start behaving when things are off. So let's not think too much about these things. It will take a while. It will all come out well. But the important thing for me is, how do we get our voices to be heard in Labour Party? Because that's very important. How do we make the impact when leaders are going to be chosen, especially for those states that haven't done their primaries? How do we ensure Labour Party gets the best candidates that even other parties, or those who wanted to support their siblings or brothers in other parties will have no choice? Because that was the situation in the presidential election, where people found that Peter Obi was actually the best candidate. So whether he was in any party, it didn't matter. People wanted the best candidate. How do we get the best candidates for Labour Party? How do we pull our weight in the within the party as Obedience? I don't know if I'm making sense, but
Thank you very much. You made your points around all, and they're all noted. So we will deal with them. The hallmark of your point is, yes, we support Obedience under Labour to be gubernatorial candidates. Yes, we select aspirants who have capacity and who are credible. So how do we know them? That's kind of a summary from what you said, and we'll be patient to ensure that we do the right thing. Let's hear we have other hands, about 5 hands. We hear them and we'll come back to this. And how do we gain relevance in Labour Party? That's another good question, which will trigger our resolution on that tonight, and we will vote on that. So let's hear from Rose Nkom, please. And as we try to unmute Rose Nkom, the last, yeah, okay.
Good evening once again.
Good evening. The last, okay, go ahead.
Rose Nkom.
Yeah, go ahead.
POM. My convener is Pastor Ime James.
Okay.
Well, honestly, I would like to really appreciate him because he created a forum for prayers since before this court issue started. 24 hours. There are groups he created praying for the court judgment. And honestly, we are having the hope. We are not losing hope. We are having the hope that believing God that that mandate will be given to us. Then secondly, there's in Kaduna State, one of the House of Assembly members that was voted in PDP, we lost him. So there will be an election for that position in Kaduna. Already, the Peter Obi movement is working towards to see that the person that is coming out from Labour Party, there's a group called Think Tank. I'm also part of that think tank. We are looking at credible, quality leadership and good governance. We are looking for people that we know that can stand and do the work, not people that will just go there for themselves and their families. So we've gotten one who is a member of PPGN also, the support group in Kaduna. We formed a group called Think Tank that we are supporting that person. But we are waiting for the primaries because there are so many people that came out to contest for the position in Labour Party. So we are waiting for the primaries. If the person we are hoping to contest is there, then our support group, the Peter Obi movement, are really ready to work with that person, because we have our officials both at the ward level and the polling units. Already the candidate knows about it. So we are working towards that. And some of the people that contested, there's somebody, if you people heard about the Okada man that was elected as the House of Assembly in one of the local government, Kora local government, that's my own local government. We really fought for that position. The person from the PDP is my cousin, but I told him, you will not get that position because we want somebody that will work for us. And God really helped us. The Okada man now got that position. The person also for the senatorial position, he won the election, but was collected and given to PDP. But they are in court. I think the final judgment is coming on the 7th, and we are believing that that mandate will be given back to him, because people really came out to vote for him because we saw what he has been doing, what he is doing at the zonal level. So we should try to see that we encourage people to look at the candidate. Is he capable to do the work? Is he honest? How is he? Than just supporting anybody anyhow. And I will also encourage that most of these our groups should, like the Sheikh said about prayers, we should honestly, even if the court issues, the mandate is being given to us, the prayers should not stop. We should continue in that manner to pray for Peter Obi, to pray for our country, to pray for our families, that God should really change Nigeria. As we said, it's a new Nigeria. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much for that submission. It all boils down as well on supporting a credible, obedient candidate and being resolute with the party that we're using. Okay, let's hear the next person as on the queue, and that's Mike Nnam. Please tell us where you're calling from and your support group.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Mike Nnam. I'm calling from Enugu, and I am the state coordinator for P2B Presidential Global Network, that is PPGN. I want to say that what we are discussing today is quite apt. And I want to also add that as we are looking at these states that are going to be going through gubernatorial elections like Bayelsa, Kogi, and the other one. We should also be looking at states like Enugu, where the outcome of the gubernatorial election is in court, being challenged by Labour Party candidate, Edoga. I said that what we are discussing this evening is quite apt because it somehow affected the performance of Labour Party at gubernatorial level at Enugu. Given that people, Obedience, we are not too sure whom to support. There was no clear directives from beginning as to whom to support. And so what we were discussing this evening also came to play at that time when some people were like, look, after P2B at presidential level, anybody can just go his own way. And when the directives eventually came for us to support Labour Party candidates, it became quite difficult to get people to do so at that late hour. Somebody had said earlier on that we should look for a way of galvanizing support for Labour Party. I want to submit that we should actually be more categorical. For instance, charge Obidient to begin to register as party men and women with Labour Party. Doing that will somehow enable us get credible candidates. Because I want to also observe that even at Enugu, the candidate that eventually came up as the gubernatorial candidate was not, well, by my own opinion, the candidate that the majority of the Obedients wanted. But unfortunately, there was nothing we could do because we were not members of Labour Party. And so we didn't even know when primaries held. So if we begin from now to say that every Obedient should register with a political party that our principle belongs to, I think it will make some sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mike Nnam, for that view. I think all the views are coming all together, aiming at the same point. So yes, that noted, we will round off all this. Once we hear from Chief Kems Honora and Emmanuel Nopu, we will round this batch and we will start again to hear from Daniel Ejembi and then the rest people, and we will pass another resolution and be closing. So can we hear from Chief Kems Honora, please? You can please unmute.
Good evening, Doc, and good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure to be here once again with this family. I want to appreciate the organizers for a job well done, and all the participants for making time to join us here today. All the resolutions that have been passed are in order, and what we're doing, like one of the last speakers said, is quite apt. I appreciate that. But there's something, please, I want to point on, and it's important that we note that. You see, I'm a believer in God and in what God can do and the power of prayers, and without prejudice to anything that has been said already, and with all the utmost respect for everybody's belief and what they do, I want to make a submission that I think it is high time as Nigerians, we're talking for a new Nigeria, who should, I think it's high time we did less of praying and more of action. You see, we pray to God. We believe. I'm a believer in God, and I'm a Christian, a practicing one, and I believe in the power of prayers. But I think sometimes we do. How will I say? It is quite insulting, so to speak. That's my opinion. thinking God hears prayers. If Nigeria issues is about prayers, Nigeria has the highest number of churches, mosques, and you know how much prayers that was done during the last election. If it was a battle of prayers, I bet God is not deaf, neither is he dumb. He would have heard our prayer, he would have acted. God is looking at us, Nigerians, to take matters into our hands. We are Nigerians, we are playing to the God of, most times we say God of Israel, help us, deliver us in this. Why Israel themselves are taking matters in their hands and taking actions. So please, without registration, I think it's high time we did less praying, more action. The points we have raised here, let's put our resources and all hands on deck, make efforts as humans. God is looking onto us. Even God himself, he wanted to effect a change here on earth. He's a spirit. God works in spirit. He had to come as man, as we believe, as Christ, to walk the earth, to walk the earth, to be able to effect a change on earth. He needed to come as a man. So I believe that God is looking out to us as Nigerians to do things ourselves, not calling on God. It's only in Nigeria people who will buy a factory and convert it to church and be praying for job, for crying out loud. When jobs are lost by just converting that factory into a church, well, I'm just a symbolic thing. And my point is, with all utmost respect to whoever.
Sorry, we lost Ken. We want to hear from the next one. Please, could we, we've talked about prayers and the House had voted about 81 persons passed a resolution about prayers. Can we please not repeat or go back talking about prayers? Prayer is something about faith, and people are obliged to keep to their faith the way they want it. And that's not really going to be a discussion for this platform. People can decide to have faith. People can decide not to have faith. But we do not support people who fold their hands and not doing what they have to do. That's why Obidient came out. You and me put our money. Some people went to Nigeria to vote and to see that we played the part. So our platform here is not to discuss whether we know the value of prayer or not know the value of prayer. Our platform here is to find a way forward, and we leave people to their faith. Thank you. Can we hear from Emma, please? We ask Emma to please unmute himself.
Okay, done. Can you hear me now, Mike? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, nice for this meeting. Actually, I had to get up by 5 o'clock to catch up because this is our Friday morning. So that was your 9 p.m. Wednesday, which was my 6 a.m. So I had to prepare for work early, which I'm about to start work now. However, I think everything has almost been said, but like somebody mentioned within that discussion about consolidating our principle, if everything goes the way we hope it should go, because Nigeria has become a kind of a comic environment. People coming out in the streets saying, my turn. And then you have lawyers there, you have INEC, and it becomes a turn-by-turn thing. It's just ridiculous. We ridicule ourselves. So I think the consolidation of our principle, when it gets there, is basically by this action we're trying to take now to get more governors on board. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for him. So I believe every effort, every media, social media, news media, television media, that is going to help promote anybody under Labour Party who is contesting for any governorship election, senatorial position, or House of Assembly should be well supported. I'm from the background of PPGN, which I believe was the fundamental of all these other groups that are coming. And Mike, you've been doing a very good job. I know I've not been following up. which I forgot to say, I am the regional coordinator of Australia. So, and within here, we're doing our own best in many forms, you know. So, every other person on ground, people who are on ground in Nigeria, please, you should put all your efforts in getting more people getting elected, but let it be credible and people with capacity. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much. I gotta go now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ima. Thank you for logging in from that Australia. Yes, so we've had a lot of people. Now we want to finalize discussion on this point, and we have 4 more people, and we have our resolution again, and we move on from there. We must say that we appreciate everybody's view. From all the things we had now, we had people talk about credible candidate, obedient credible candidate. How do we know the person? But the summary of everybody's opinion is that we need to support whoever is the candidate that's coming from each state. We need more governors that are obedient and that are probably from the Labour Party that we're working with now. So that's noted, and it looks we've passed resolution on that. But one thing that made meaning, Nan, is how do we have a say? Ebele Obi mentioned, went to a bit of depth in that. How do we have a say? How obedient movement in the Labour Party? Some instances like Mike Nam also mentioned about instances in Enugu. So now I will want to say, and by the way, when I say Ebele Obi, you may make out what that name means. In this meeting. So it's the same Obi that we're all following. And she made that time to be here to also air her view on that. Now, what we are talking about is the...
Hello, Manny, how are you today?
Good, Vic, how are you?
I need your help.
What do you want me to do?
Can you tell them, please, that 127 is
Ima, please, are you able to put yourself on mute?
whatever it is, sodium? I know I've got a problem, but the only problem is they won't let me drink enough, and it's terrible.
No, but they're working under the advice of a specialist. So let's see. They're working under the advice of a specialist, please. Okay, so let's leave them to do what they have to do.
Mrs. Blessing, please meet Dr. Ima, please. Thank you.
I just did.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Chief Pat. Okay, now, so that question has risen. The fact remains that it's no longer as, business as usual as before. Before, like I said, this was a road we hadn't been before. So Labour Party had their choice of selecting who would be the gubernatorial candidate, either by 1 person or 3 persons, but it's no longer the same now. So all the states will always have a person, a chairman and a secretary who will go and conduct primaries, and is open primaries, where people who are card-carrying members will come and do open ballots voting for the primaries. So the one for Imo State remains a precedent. I spoke with Governor Alex Oti, Dr. Alex Oti, His Excellency, SFR. And I say, you are the chairman, and by God's grace, thank you for what happened. But are you telling me clearly that the man that is chosen actually, from all your heart emerged. And he said, there's nothing else that could be done. That person that emerged won clearly. And I spoke with the secretary, His Excellency Val Ozibu, who confirmed to be the secretary to that primaries and said, the person that won just won clearly, and there's nothing you can do except you want to forge the results. But these are the votes, and they were cast openly, and people saw the counting. So that is by the way. So that issue of transparency in ensuring that a candidate emerges is there. The next thing is the obedient person that wants to win will have to be known by the obedience. You need to have a card for Labour Party if you want to contest on the Labour Party. And you need to mobilize the obedients who are not card-carrying members to have cards, because that's what could make them to become part of the delegates that will come to vote you on the primaries. So most of the aspirants in most of these states, if they are obedient, they need to belong to at least the obedient movements. There are many movements in the states. There are support groups in the states. You need to belong there, and obedience needs to know you and know what you stand for. And people can check you out. We check you out at least for the ones human beings can see. We can't vouch for what you do in your bedroom, but if we check, people check you out. I believe that if I say people now check Michael out or check Chief Pat out, now in 3 minutes, many people will have results, because people, it's a global community. People will just type now on the Google and at least get some news, the ones they can see, and it helps them to form an opinion. And then if as the thing progresses and somebody comes up with saying that this guy, oh, don't do anything with him, he's a fraud, he's done this or that, and he brings those evidence and we see that it's something that cannot go well with Obidient, we will arrange a meeting with the candidate and say, this is what we see, we heard about you. Is that true? If it's true, fine. You might not represent obedience. You may not that we wouldn't like you to, but what is following you may not guarantee obedience win in this election. So having said that, that's what all of us know that we can always do. We need to, this next thing we're going to put under vote is that people are saying, what is the take of the obedient in the Labour Party? And that's part of the things we have to put up tonight. We go into the Labour Party, we want to be part of an arm that has a stake or a say in terms of implementation of things. See, obedience are there. They are ready to work with their own money, but they need to be given the chance. And then if, for example, obedience volunteers, they volunteer to be party agents to ensure that things work, then they had to be carried along. If there are funding that has to take care of that, obedience needs to be part of it, be part of the decision-making, be part of a recognized arm that will work or do things. So that's looking into a bit more what resonates from here, from the last batch of discussions. And we will want to also have a resolution on that. If we are looking forward to have obedience that have a proper, clear recognition with decision-making votes as stakeholders in the Labour Party that we're working with, and have implementation, inclusion, involvement. We want to now type 1. If we don't care whether we are involved or not, we just want to go put our votes, type 2. So let's just do that as quick as possible. And we know that's the resolution we're reaching tonight. We want to be part of the support, but we want to have a place, a voting capacity as a stakeholder in decision-making, in implementation of some of the things, especially most of the places, it's Obidient that are there, most voting and wards and voting, units. So, all right, so we have one from Ebenebi, we have one from Ken Honora, we have one from Mike Nam, we have one, yes, we have one from Daniel Ejembi, we have one pouring in, we have one Rose and Cut, we have one from Edafite, we have one, yes, sorry if I missed your name, we have one from Moses, we have one from Daniel Ejembi, we have one from Moses. Yes, if you think we don't need to, and just type 2. Okay, so that involvement, at least that will be part of our publication resolution of this meeting. They will all be pointed out. We have one from Chief Pat Opara. We have one. As the vote is going from Nicholas Opara, we have one. As the vote is going, it's like everyone is on the same page. Could we have more indication? One from Emmanuel Hart, one from, yes, we have quite a number of ones. One from, we have one from Iroa Galazi. Yep. Nicholas Herbert. Yes, just type 1 or type 2. Just type 1 or type 2. Yes, Ola Kwadi, we have one. Type 1 or type 2. We have, so from all we have had so far is 1, 1, 1. Okay, as people keep typing 1, we will request our INEC, well, our electoral officer for tonight to also take that and tell us what he's got. Kindly repeat the essence of the vote. The vote is, if we are opting that we are supporting whoever that emerges as the candidate under Labour, yes, we've passed that resolution, but now we're saying that we want Obedience to be part, have a voting, a decision-making vote, involvement, and in the implementation of the electoral process as we keep supporting the Labour Party. So we said, if you are for it, type 1. If you think it's not necessary, just go and cast your vote, fine. So if we had to have a say with the Labour Party to say, we are with you, but this is our stand. When it comes to doing things like this, Obidient have their own rights and their own stake and their own view that had to be taken into consideration. When it comes to implementation, at all levels, Obidient also have a place. So we said, if that's your view, type 1. If you think that's necessary, just type 2. So we've got a lot of number of 1, 1, 1. So could we ask Jinwokeji to please collate the votes and give us the results? And that will be the resolution number 3 for tonight, I think, or resolution number 4. So collect those and let's have that. And we move on to the next people that have their hands on, and that will be the last hand for the night. And we will look at the last thing we have and we finish because the night has been so spent. So we have Daniel HMB. Can we please unmute? Chief Pat, please unmute Daniel HMB to speak.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. I'm Mr. Daniel HMB, Deputy Coordinator of PPGN from Kaduna.
Thank you.
I actually appreciate this meeting because most of those things that we are discussing tonight, after the election, we continue this movement, trying to put some structure in place that will checkmate the people that want to infiltrate this Obidient movement. One, we have been working in collaboration with Labour Party because Labour Party, the structure we met during the election was a flawed structure, and it caused us so many problems. And and we came out to form a group called Think Tank for Quality Leadership and Good Governance. This Think Tank for Quality Leadership and Good Governance, we are out to shop for the leader, a good leader that will represent people, that will have the interest of the people at heart. And suddenly, I think we lost one of the House of Assembly member, the PDP, and they want to do a rerun election. And so many people came out with buying form, even those that we didn't know, but there was one particular guy that have been, he's among this P2B intervention something. So, and his vibe, in fact, I personally went to call him. I said, look, I think you should be able to come out. He said, no. I said, no, we need a leader like you, because he was a lecturer. He has to resign. In fact, because he's not involved in all those corruption during this movement, almost everybody bought into him. In fact, when we insisted and told the party this is a candidate that we want him to participate in the election, I think most of the people that bought the tickets of this run, most of them now are stepping down for him, because we insisted that if Obidient is to participate in Labour Party fully, then they should be able to give the good leader that will pick the ticket. Not that you come to primary election, because the truth of it is that if you come to that primary election, it's those that have the biggest pockets that win the election. That was the same thing that happened in Imo. That is the truth. And in Kaduna here, we are trying to set the standard that whoever is coming to contest an election, it should be somebody that will have done an investigation on him, that yes, he's going to represent people well, because the truth of it is that His Excellency P2B has opened our eyes. I so much admire him. So he has given us a level playing ground that will go and shop for the best person. The best person will get the whole movement going, because if we're able to get it from the primary, that nobody can use his money to buy himself into to collect the ticket, I think we're halfway done. That is I must work in collaboration with the Labour Party, because most of the chairmen, they don't actually know. Like in Kaduna here, we insisted, and each time we speak, the chairman listened to us, even at the national and state level. In fact, Think Tank during this election, in collaboration with PPGN, we have been outlining programs for people, and almost all the support group in Kaduna, they come to Think Tank PPGN office because of what we are doing. And we have actually set a standard. So because of the standard we set during the election, subsequent, there's no any candidate in Kaduna, be from any other party, they will need our support. But we set our standard right, and we are working in collaboration with Labour Party, and we will set it right by the grace of God. If other states can key into it, that even after the election, at least the momentum will still be there. Even when the office expired, we have to go and rent an office. We use our money to go and rent an office so that we will be gathering the group together. So that we will know that when election comes, we'll be waiting, we don't have. No, the movement has to start. After the election, we did not rest. We keep on going, moving, shopping for quality leaders. Because the situation we have in Nigeria, because we tolerate nonsense. And that nonsense now has become part of us. That some people say, okay, it has gone to court. Nigeria, it will not. No, we want to change the narrative. That is the obedient spirit.
All right.
We must change the narrative by doing the right thing from the primary, because if you fail from the primary, that means you just bring a candidate that will not present you well at the national or state level. Just like the House of Rep member that won in Kaduna here, in Chukun Kajuru, where the most of the votes came from. We hold him, the last time he came, we hold him ransom. He must deliver the dividend of democracy, because we work for him and it's on his toe. These are the kind of standard we need to set in almost all our states, so that this Labour Party, because if you cannot correct this party from the primary, we'll get it wrong, and there's nothing we can do about it. But in Kaduna here, I want to assure you that we here have set the structure of Labour Party, that there's nothing they will do at the state level that will not have a voice. If everybody have a voice in all state Labour Party chairman in Kaduna, I think we will be making a headway. This is my submission.
Thank you very much for that submission. We will hear the last two from the last two people, and we will conclude this part. But thank you for that. Ola Kadiri, please. Can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this great opportunity. And like people have said in the past, thank you so much for keeping the fire burning. My own contribution this night is not going to be very long. My only observation, basically.
Please, where are you calling from and which support group?
Yes, I'm the convener and the project coordinator of the Mandate project. And but currently I'm in Europe now for a few weeks, so I'm not in Nigeria currently. So,
thank you very much.
I just felt I have to join. I felt I needed to join this meeting because, of course, I've been itching for something like this for quite a long time. So, like I was saying, my name is Inka Quadri, and that's my full name. And,
fantastic.
I've put my details on the chats. So in case anybody wants to reach out to me.
Wonderful. Your name and your support group and the phone contact. Thank you.
Yes, it's on the chat group. But do you want me to repeat it now?
No, since it's on the chat group, we'll pick it up.
Okay then. So just the other position I want to make is the need for action. Thank God Big Tent is becoming active, and I hope that it will keep it up, because you see, mobilization is the most important thing that we require for Nigeria to move forward now. Nigerians are ready. They only need to be coordinated. And I'm happy that Big Tent is rising to that challenge now. And secondly, the Labour Party itself as a platform needs to be completely reinvigorated if it's going to play any role in the future of Nigeria and the required transformation processes. And the reason I'm saying this is that Labour Party up till now, before the OB intervention, has not been really active in a way that it could command the attention of the Nigerian people. So the attention the Labour Party is getting today is because of the intervention of the Nigerian people and that of Peter Obi. So if going forward, if Labour Party wants to be relevant, I'm not against the decision that we should support Labour Party, but what I'm saying, that for Labour Party to remain relevant, it has to come out of its old mode. It has to be completely reinvented, because today there's no opposition in the country. Nobody's saying anything. There's so much that Labour Party can do to shake up the country a bit and let these people know that Nigerians are ready for this change that we are talking about. I mean, policies are going on. Labour Party is not saying anything. I mean, there's no evidence. In fact, with regard to mobilization, what are they doing? So, in as much as I agree with the decision of the House that, no, let's support Labour, let's intervene, let's interact with Labour, I'm also begging this House to impress it on Labour Party to change its mode and be reinvented. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well noted. That's point well noted. Thanks a lot. Can we hear from Billy Odumoza, please?
Okay, thank you so much, Doc, for all your efforts. You have been so vigorous on this movement. And as you rightly call me, my name is Speleo Odumoza. I'm speaking from the United Kingdom. I belong to several platforms, Rivers Diaspora, PPGN, United Kingdom, and as well as others. I think I also buy the idea of my last speaker. For Labour to be able to stand, to be a real opposition party, we have to stand with our feet. Many of us are not joining Labour because it's Labour. We joined Labour because we saw our beloved man, Peter. We heard his philosophy. And that's for many of us that, of course, you, including yourself, you are United States, and you see what politics is all about there. And we have seen how this rough, unquantified policy, unprepared policy, quack policies are being rolled out within the last 2 months. Nothing we are hearing from Labour. Nothing. If we want to be an opposition party, we have to be able to speak out and criticize the policies that are being rolled out. Again, for us to be recognized as a party of intelligence and credibility, what we are talking about from production to consumption is not what we're seeing. Even those who have been elected into the House, into the chambers, they were there not on their own. They were there because they followed the philosophy of Obi, which we all applauded. But when I watch them on the television here, because I'm privileged to be watching on Gava and other Nigerian channels, nothing seems to come from them. We cannot be the mouthpiece of the people while we keep quiet. We cannot represent the masses when we don't say anything, even when things are going wrong in the country. No. If we want to win, if we want to make ourselves known, we have to sell ourselves. We have to be speaking out. We have to be criticizing these rogue policies that are being rolled out by Tinubu. Well, as a policymaker, I felt very, very disappointed in many ways. But I think that you convening this meeting every time we spend time here is 11 o'clock night, and we spend time. Let it not be in vain. And again, the other point is this: would it not be possible for Labour now to begin to have a convention, like others have spoken? Let us know who want to contest, and let us follow a developed nation politics. Let there be debate among contestants. Let them tell us what they want to do and how they're going to do it, so that we hold them accountable. Otherwise, there's no point for us. I mean, we are there when the case comes in the court, somebody will be reporting, everybody will follow. That is when we become Labour Party members. But when it comes to the reality of attacking the policies of the present government, the present administration, nobody says anything. I think that is not a good politics. My prayer is that we should continue to do our best to reinvigorate and to put our views forward so that people will know that we stand for equity and justice. We stand for transparency and accountability. We are not politicians of years where can you imagine today, a man of about 70 years is being elected again as APC chairman. And you look at the pictures there, and then we keep quiet. I don't think that is the way to do politics.
All right.
So I think there should be a way forward. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Billy Odumoza, for your view. I think done so well by listening and hearing everyone's view. So this last batch of discussion, could we have the result of the last resolution we passed, please, from G. Nwokeji, please.
Okay.
G. Nwokeji, please.
Yes. I was trying to get unmuted before. It's 19-0. 19 years and 0 nays. Yes.
Thank you very much. So that's noted. Okay, and the last batch of our conversation, we're also all pointing at one thing, but the last speaker made some statements about being real opposition party and then doing what they ought to do. We note that, and that's a very good observation, but we might want to say that that's actually what Labour Party and PDP should be doing. And at this moment, when the case is in the courts, it becomes a bit somehow some sensitivity in some of the things until we hear this judiciary make their pronunciation or pronouncement. Now, looking at that, we as Obidient had said that we want to dominate the space, the media space, saying what we think we have to say as citizens, as Nigerian citizens. And then in terms of mounting pressure on the judiciary to really pronounce a proper outcome of all their proceedings and all the things in favor of Nigerians and their faith. We said we will want all support groups to go ahead doing that. And we believe that that might be part of the last resolution we'll pass if we haven't passed it, and say at least each support group in 2 weeks or in a week, just do one publication that will get towards putting pressure. We know the result is being written, but that's for the tribunal. And we know that each of the parties, whether our principal, whether the case is in favor or not, he will go to Supreme Court. And we know that the other parties, if the case is against them, they will go to Supreme Court. So it's still a matter, it's still a journey. So we have the opportunity to keep dominating the media space, saying what it's the take of Nigerians in this matter. But if we all keep quiet, then, you know, the judiciary, well, we know that sometimes they may want to do what they feel they want to do, but the pressure would also go a long way, depending on how the content writers come up with the pressure that we want to be putting out there. So yes, it would be good. We will mention to Labour Party that yes, there's need to really take a position of the opposition. The Labour Party is doing, to some extent, the youth leader, current youth leader, I've seen some publications from him, seen some publications from the DG campaign, Akin. I spoke with him before this meeting, and he was like, okay, put all the things you want, all these things, let's put it in writing. So virtually almost everything we're passing on as a resolution tonight seems to have been articulated and sent to all the people that be, the DG campaign, the deputy, the, Val and all that, because just following the agenda we have, and it's like everything we're saying is from one heart, and they're all coming out okay. But we will keep doing what we have to do until the victory and new Nigeria is new Nigeria may not be given to us. We will take new Nigeria, but the court will have to do, the judiciary need to do what is right, and then when you say what is right, it depends on the perspective. Some people think that what is right is what is backed with a lot of law precedents. When moral people think what is right is what is right, that way your conscience doesn't beat you about. And some people will also say, what about your conscience? Some people don't even have conscience at all. But we all know that we voted for Peter Obi and the mandate was not given to us. We won the mandate back, and that's the summary. For people who have conscience and for people who don't have conscience, it's give us back our mandate. So thank you very much to everyone. The next thing that we have on that agenda is about mounting pressure for removal or calling for the resignation of the INEC chairman. We are here in this kind of country called Nigeria, where people have done something wrong and they have informed infantry to go, they go to televisions and they're talking and defending that with all boldness and confidence, and nothing happens to them, and they're not even resigning, and the waste of resources unaccounted, can't account for what they promised, even what they promised on tape, what they promised in television, under television, what they promised even written down, and they're just dodging it and saying something else, and nothing is happening. So we want to see that we also start mounting pressure on these people. We can't be talking about this election that went this way, and the people that conducted it are still sitting on the same positions and telling us what to do next. Apparently, even suggesting about rerun and telling us who will rerun and how it will be rerun, just with them. So I'm only thinking, even though we are not looking up for rerun, but I'm even asking, so if we are going to rerun, it will be this same INEC chairman that will conduct the rerun, and then it will be Festus will be talking about rerun. Let's not even forget the fact that the person who is an accomplice in a case is the one going to be appointing judges for the Supreme Court to judge the case. Your own case, you have to appoint the judges, which is another mismatch. They're not another thing that, you can't fathom. But then at the same time, the same people who put us in this mess are telling us how we will do rerun, which they will organize. So and then we don't want to, we may not be so happy analyzing the results and analyzing what the court is saying and analyzing the blood results. You intentionally made results blood because you want to hide evidence. And then you want to come and conduct a rerun for us, for Nigeria. I mean, sounds so strange. So I don't know what our take is, but we want to also have that resolution. If we're all supporting that, we need to put pressure on the news and anywhere all the platforms that the INEC chairman needs to resign and INEC revamped. If we think it's a good step to take, can we just type 1? If we think no, let them conduct the election just the same way our brother Jonathan allowed Tega to conduct election even after all the warnings. But so if we want these people to still go ahead and assuming they'll be, let them be in the position to organize it, then type 2. If you think it's not necessary, if this Nigeria needs to work, even if there's no rerun, these INEC people need to really resign. They need to go. Type 1. So we have 1, Ebelebi, type 1. Thank you. We've got, yes, we've got people type Moto G type 1, Denise type 1. Rose Income type 1. Emmanuel Hart type 1. Yep. Denise Adia type 1. Yes, type 1 or 2, whatever that you think is the correct thing to do, just type. Dawood Musa Bidlia type 1. Yep. Okay. Just put up your votes on the chat, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. Billy Odumuza typed 1. Yep. As much as we can get, so we will be moving. Yeah, Egoche type 1. Just type 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. So far we've all got 1, 1. If there's any 2, let's know. If there is not, we will request G. Ugo to collate that result and let us know what we have. And we will be requesting anything under AOB, and we will be trying to round up. Yes, Rita Kemi type 1. So we have just 2 minutes to finalize that because of our time. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for that resolution on that. Not sure we can influence this reality, though. No, well, yes, we're not saying that we're going to remove by ourselves the INEC chairman, but we say we're going to start mounting pressure in the media, in the national daily, as Nigerian citizens, calling for the resignation of the INEC chairman. And however it is going to happen, we know that it will be difficult for the president to ask him to resign. The president that is there now, to ask him to resign. And whether it is constitutional or whether the NAS has to play any part in that. However, but all we know is that Nigeria wants this man out of the place. So once the pressure is being mounted, it's up to them to do what that they have to do. We can focus more on serious issues of interest to Nigerians. This is very, very serious issue. If we're going to rerun this election, then it's a very serious issue. If we are not going to rerun it, so could we actually know what do we think is a serious issue to Nigeria? If this mandate is not recovered, and if we don't think on how to ensure that we don't just waste our time. Thank you very much. Can we have the results, Ugo, please, on this?
Okay, it's we have 13 yes and 0 no.
Thank you very much. Please take note of those, and then we move on. We have few other hands raised, but I'm afraid that we have actually...
Somebody lowered my hand.
Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead and raise it again.
Yeah,
Okay,
somebody lowered my hand. I was the first one on the
yes, you will.
on the queue. Yeah.
Well, as it is now, we have 3 hands. It's becoming very late. We may want to request, please, the 3 hands we have, can you put what you want to say on the chat? If they are not alongside all we have discussed today, please, because of time. Well, if there are new things, then it's something we need to take on board. But as it is now, it's 10 minutes past. So we've been on this meeting for going to 3 hours or past. What's our view on that? So we want to move on to see on chat. Please type. Dennis Adair, you want to say something, please put it on chat. Chief Kems Honora, you want to say something, please put it on chat. Ugo Mwakeji, please put it on chat. Let's please, can you avail me the recorded version of this meeting? Okay. All right. We will send the recorded version of the meeting. But I must apologize that the recorded version of this meeting didn't start exactly when the meeting started. So we thought the recording started a little bit later on. So we have security, economy, welfare, human rights, governance, etc. So this person is thinking that this is what is important to Nigeria now. Yes, they're all important, and they are the things that will have to be done by the government. Don't want us giving the impression we are expecting a rerun, and Tinubu will appoint another idiot anyway. Of course, we're not expecting a rerun. We are praying and wishing that God will touch the hearts of these judges to declare Obi the winner. But the fact is that if you follow the courts, I'm still listening to the legal advisors of our principal. Don't think I've seen a factual part where they pleaded to be declared winner. They were mostly contending with the process that brought in the winner. So I don't know whether the courts will have any grounds to declare him the winner. It's up to the courts. We wish that he will emerge, but most of the blood recorded things they brought, the INEC brought intentionally, was to make sure that that declaration didn't hold. And then we are of the view that there will be a way to turn that judgment around to really plead to declare our principal the winner. So we're still waiting and listening to the legal practitioners on that, or to see how the judgment will turn around to do that. So it's not in our hands, but our expectation is that there won't be any rerun. They will declare our principal the winner, but there has to be evidence what we use to declare him the winner. And INEC so much heartlessly behaved by blood, making all the results, the rest results as blood images, unfortunately. But may God help us. It's Nigeria that we are in. Yes. What other conversation from all we can see on the chat? The lawyers actually also argued will be one. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Yes, if they did, then yeah, that means we're out. We will get the victory. So everybody pray the way they could. Many people believe in their faith. Many people have said things and it happened for them. So people who want to pray, people who want to do whatever, however they want to do or to pray at this critical time, it's now a time we want God to come forth in any way he could help Nigerians and help us. Wonderful. Okay, can we please request for adjournment? We need to have some form of support. Okay, before that, obsession with praise. Before that session, to have some little fund that we need to use to do all the publications we need. So we will request people who want to do any form of support, any amount, anybody, any support group want to do to support. And we see that we get all this going out on the national dailies. Please, if you indicate any support on the chat, and then they will post the account where you can just put that in. Thank you. But we need all these major resolutions to be put out this week. Tomorrow is Friday, so we hopefully it goes out. If it goes to print by, okay, today is Friday, so if it goes out, or unfailingly, it will appear on Monday. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have
Rose Income moved for adjournment, and Gomokeji seconded it.
Okay, before that, we have an anonymous donor of 100,000 to aid for the publication. Please, any support we can get to ensure that most of our resolutions are published and we put them out there in the media. Thank you. Thank you for this. And say anonymous, please. So I'll keep it anonymous. Thank you. Thank you, but we appreciate you. Yes. Further support on that, please.
Do you have his information or his or her information?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you. Please, Pat, if you have the account number or Chinelo account number, put it on the chat. Okay, somebody said
a donation for £50.
Thank you very much.
From Ego Chair. Thank you.
Please provide account. Yes. Chinelo, please, are you able to put up accounts on there? Oh. So we have, the lawyers argued it will be one. They request 25% in states, and the only one who won 25 more in Abuja. Fantastic. Okay. So that helps us to keep being sure that we're heading to the right direction and that the lawyers covered all the grounds. Thank you for that update. I, Rose, can move for adjournment. Okay. Yes, please. Let me send that. Thank you, Ego Uche, for that support. Thank you.
The account information is posted.
Thank you very much, Chief Pat. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Chinelo. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Uche. Okay. If there is anything we get any support, then as people are doing that, can we request to say the closing prayer from sorry, we called Sarah Emeka before to say the opening prayer. Is sure she's Sarah Emeka on call now to say the closing prayer? That would do. When Papa, Mama, and King put heads together, the family becomes united. Thank you. Fantastic. Can we please request Dr. Agomo to say the closing prayer for us, please? The Christian closing prayer, and we will request a Muslim to say the closing. Is Sadiq there, or another Muslim brother to say the closing prayer after Dr. Agomo? We asked Dr. Agomo to unmute.
I did.
Okay. Okay, in that case, let's request Mrs. Ebele Obi to say the closing prayer for us, and then Sadiq, the Muslim prayer, please.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Thank you, everyone. We pray in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Father, Lord, we give you thanks for this opportunity. We thank you for the strength, for the great health, for the unity, for the understanding. And even though we sometimes differ in our opinions, we thank you for helping us to accommodate one another and to stand our grounds for that which is right and that is which is true. We thank you for the judgment coming up, but we trust that, Lord, you're going to make a way. We know it's not going to be easy, but we know you're going to make a way for us. But the suffering in Nigeria is enormous, and we're all feeling it. And Lord, you can't leave us abandoned. We thank you for the intervention we're yet to testify or to see. But we believe, Lord, that you're in all that is happening. And we thank you for all the obedient movement, for everyone who sacrificed time, resources, for everyone who's giving support for that which is true, that you bless their personal lives, bless our families, and bless all that we do, the works of our hands. Provide for us, Lord, and do not make us be a thing of mockery to others who do not believe in you, or those who think that money is all that matters. Father, salvage Nigeria. We thank you for this redemption in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Madam Ebele, for that prayer. Thank you. Have we got any Muslim brother or sister on the call? Just raise your hands. Okay. All right. Yes, can we have Dauda Musa Bidilia to say Muslim closing prayer, please.
Thank you, our host. Masha Allah, it means to God be the glory. By the grace of God, Labour Party will work stronger. Our sister from the other faith has prayed that let the judges be touched by the hands of Almighty God. We pray sincerely that there will be no disappointment in our struggle. And by the grace of God, we will find time to celebrate together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dauda. We appreciate you for that prayer. Thanks to everyone. We have more people trying to log in, but the meeting is quite over now, and we so much appreciate everyone for making it a point of duty to be in this meeting. Thank you, Chief Pat Okpala, Deputy Coordinator, Global Coordinator, PPG, and thank you, G. Ugo Mokeji, our returning officer for tonight. Thank you, you did a good job. Thank you, Billy Odumuzo. Thank you, Charity Adeboye. Thank you, Chief Kems Honora. We appreciate you. Thank you, Dauda Musa Bidilia. Thank you, Dr. Agomo. Thank you, Dr. Chi. Dr. Chi, the National Coordinator of PPG. Thank you, Madam Ebele Ubi. Thank you very much for all your presence and support in this struggle. Thank you very much. Thank you, Edefite Edef. Thank you. Thank you. Please, as we do these recognitions, please, everyone that's every convener, please do put your name and your support group or your organization on the chat and your contact number, please. Thank you. So that we don't miss out in sending you the information. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ego Uche. Thank you, we appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel Nopu. Thank you from Australia. Thank you, Emmanuel Hart. Thank you, Igaga Andrews. Igaga Andrews, is that coordinator for Edo State? Please, are you able to unmute everybody? The meeting is over, so we can, it's just the time to.
Okay, okay, thank you, Michael, and thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, iPhone. Okay, let's finish appreciating everybody. Andrew Gaga, the Valentine Ifi, Maria, thank you. Motu G Power, thank you. Nasto, thank you. Mokedi Evans, thank you. Rita Okeme, thank you. Tola Shobawale, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Please, coordinator for Edo State, wait on the call. Thank you, Adzi Azumo Anugom. Thank you very much. Azoma Anugum. Auntie Azoma Anugum. Thank you, comrade Eugene Ono. Thank you. Thank you, Uche Edward. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate all of us. Yes, so yes, do unmute everyone, and people want to exchange pleasantries could go ahead. People who want to go to bed could go ahead. I know we had all stayed awake up till now. Thanks again. Thank you, the BRO, for tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Igaga, please. Igaga, I was thinking, are you, sorry. Mike Igaga, you're asked to unmute. The host is not allowing. Andrew. Andre Igaga. Okay, is that different from Mike Igaga?
Yes, Mike Igaga is my elder brother.
Oh, okay. Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Well done.
It's my pleasure.
It's my pleasure. Okay. And how is Edo State?
It's beautiful. No problem, sir.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yes.
All
Well
right.
done, sir. Yeah.
Tell him that I asked of him.
It's all right, sir. I'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Charity Adeboye. Daoud Musa Bidler. Are you which Dauda, what's
Yes, sir. Dauda Musa Bidlia is from Borno State. I will ask you about federal representative constituency. I contested actually for the House of Representatives for Askara and Howell. Unfortunately, during the elections, Labour Party didn't appear on the ballot paper. It was reported appropriately, but nothing was done about it. Thank you.
Really? Okay. Well,
so I'm from Borno State, but I'm resident in Mina right now. I'm in Mina. I retired from the federal service, so I'm a retiree living in Mina, but from Borno State.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully let's keep on
yeah
the candle burning, and hopefully
I can get your WhatsApp number. I don't mind. Or do I put my own?
Yes, put it. Send me your number on the.
Now, dropping it now.
All right. Okay. Yes. Chinelo, please collect the number, and then engage with Dauda Musa.
Yeah, my number is there already.
Fantastic. Okay. So yes, the PP. I think there are quite. Yes, Chinelo, please collect this number and engage. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
You
are welcome.
I'm in them screen time. Can I do me?
So we must say that it's been a very good meeting, and we
the platform I want me.
Yeah, in case there's any important information anyone wants to pass, or any notice somebody wants to give, and we want to take that on board, and we will want to end the call in a few minutes. Yep. So let's collect this again. So Chief Pats. Chief Pats. That's good. Dr. Peter. Dr. Peter didn't show up in the meetings, so. It's very and strange, but
yeah, sorry. Did you get my good evening, everybody? Did you get my text? I told you I couldn't make it.
okay, I didn't get your test. The meeting ended long ago. So
I know. I mean, I know I'm late. I just finished work around 6. So, but I did WhatsApp you and also Obi Sarambara. You know, so yeah. But I said, let me just log in and say hi.
oh, wonderful. Okay, we just finished. So I'm just trying to get some of the things on the chat. So
Okay. All right. Well, I'll catch up with you, Bisarambara. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
All right. All right. Thank you. I just said, let me show my face.
Fantastic.
Good night. All right. Bye-bye.
You looked fresh.
It's been a busy day, my brother. Today is what we call med evaluation. So that takes time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ima from Australia started work, so he's at work and is joining the meeting. Okay, let's say thank you to everyone again. We've all sent the pleasantries, and so till we adjourn again, but we hope to publish most of our resolutions in the national dailies. So end for everyone.